Something happened?
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begins the transmission.
Welcome to Black Noir Radio.
Let
That
me
was
just.
some funky jazz.
That was an amazing.
Yeah,
Wasn't that
yo.
amazing, Jazz? Yeah. Oh, you know what? Beefy is an extraordinary human being. No offense,
Dave
Nawson.
Reed made that, actually.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Another day, another podcast. And first and foremost, I am your host, Alistair. I am co-hosted by.
Beefy, your shit-talking squirrel friend.
Oh yes, and as lately I've forgotten to tell you, but I remember today. This is a space where we talk about anything and everything. So if you're easily offended, you can just
Get the fuck out of here.
yes,
Just leave. Just go, bro.
yes.
Get the fuck out.
Just have an open mind, right?
Would you like me to introduce our specially guest this week?
Yeah.
It's
Governor.
Nawson. He's the man. Look at him. His face is there at everything. Look at his face. His bearded face. What a pretty man.
Let me just tell you guys, if you don't know how Beefy looks, they look alike.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mm,
I just realized this is impromptu. Sorry.
An interesting coincidence.
Yeah, what a coincidence.
What a coincidence. Yeah, they look alike. Anyway, really quickly, how was your week, Beefy?
Well, it hasn't been a week. We just recorded on Saturday. It's only been a few days. But yeah,
Has
good,
it been
man.
a few days? Oh my god.
Yeah, we recorded Saturday and we're back Thursday. So yeah, like almost a week, 4 or 5 days.
That's right. You know what? The week is going like super fast, and I'm doing 1,000 things at once. So to me, I'm exhausted. No, but
Yeah.
okay. So nothing new since you last talked. All right. How about you, Nawson?
Nothing new for me this week. Just the same old grind.
The grind, the good old grind. How was the weather where you guys stay?
It
okay.
started to get cold. It got cold quick. It was like summer, and then just all of a sudden overnight, boom, we're into fall.
This morning it was freezing, and the storm just stopped today. By the way, it's been raining ever since last weekend, and so this is the first day that we have no sun. By the way, still no sun. The first day we have no water, no rain. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
to
we've
finally
had a
have
really
dry
wet
land.
wet summer too.
Do you grow any trees, Nawson?
I don't own property.
Working on changing that, though, from what I understand. He's considering becoming a homeowner.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. And also, not for nothing, I know this is completely random. When I used to live in an apartment complex, I did plant a tree. It's still there. I still drive there once in a while, and I still go look at it. I said, "Hi, girl."
Did you name it after an Egyptian god, like all your other
No,
trees?
no, but it's a fruit tree, and it was not legal. I was not, but I was like,
Oh.
yeah, it wasn't illegal because they're like, don't plant anything in your patio. I was like, yeah, but I'm on the ground floor. I'm going to plant something.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like, I thought you were saying you grew like a weed plant.
No. But it's still there. So the
What kind of fruit?
new owner didn't take it out. It's a dwarf peach tree. They call it it's called a dwarf peach tree. It grows about like 5 feet tall and 5 feet wide. It gives like a lot of fruit. The fruits are a little tarty, so I have a savory palate, so I like that tart.
Tarty?
Yeah,
they're tart. Okay, tarty.
they're
Yeah,
tart.
yeah.
They're
I
like
see.
sweet and
Sour.
tart. They're a little bit sour, not too much. And but big producer, so the new owner probably didn't complain. They're like, "Oh, look at that, we have fruits." Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. Good for
Yeah.
you.
Come.
Probably
Yeah.
raised the property value by a little bit.
It's just because the management doesn't know about it. That's all. Otherwise, they would have
So
killed
consistent
it.
with your personality type, just creating and growing and leaving everything better than the way you found it. Just good for you, buddy.
Oh, me? Oh, thank you. Oh, Beefy, you give me so many accolades. Listen, I'll take them.
You should. You should. You're very accomplished, my friend.
I'll take every accolade that I can. Anyway, so today we have an interesting story for you guys. I know about this story, but not as much as Beefy, as you all know. Nawson, do you know about this story that we're about to do today?
I just looked it up on Wikipedia, but that's all I know about it.
How dare
Yeah,
you?
no, don't spoil it because we like to
Yeah.
get live reactions. But let's just do some shout outs really quick before we jump in. Bubba's here, Lucy's here,
Hi.
Alicia's in. There's a few more people
Mm.
in here. Sound off if you're in the chat. We like hearing from you guys. All right, you guys ready to dive into the murders of Hinterkaifeck?
You're so stupid. I love it. I have my tea ready. By the way, before I came here, I was feeding Olympia. Oh my God, what a ravenous little creature. Love it. She ate everything I gave. And I was like, yes, my girl, eat, eat. She
That's
ate
good. That means she's a
half a
healthy baby.
fish. Yeah. It's awesome. Okay. I'm ready. Nelson, are you ready?
All right.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Settle in, get yourself a snacky poo, bring the covers in tight. It's a spooky one, I gotta say. Even reading the script for this, I was like kind of looking around my corner, like, who's that? It deals with home invasion, which I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's like I'm really sensitive to that crap. To like the idea that somebody's in my house, ooh, fucking gives me the willies. I hate it. I have access to there's an access to my attic in my apartment building that's like it's not open to the public, like it's through a back stairwell. But I always like get paranoid that like somebody's gonna go up there, and it's because of this story. Anyways, I'm burying the lead a little bit, but we're gonna get to it.
I love it. I love
Well,
it.
there's a space between the me and my neighbor's apartment that you can access from the outside. And one night I heard all this rustling in there, and I opened the door, and some meth addict was like setting up shop.
Oh
and,
my
like,
God.
setting up a tent in there. Well, not like a sleeping bag and
Yeah.
stuff. And I told him like, "Hey man, you got to get out of here." And then after I shut the door and locked it, and then I kept hearing more rustling for the next like hour or so. And then like I opened the door and he was still there, like he was still trying to stay there. And I'm like, "Dude, I mean it right now. You got to go, or I'm calling the cops."
Did he leave?
Yeah, he eventually left, and I actually like it freaked me out at first, but the second time I came out there, it looked like he was like crying, and then I felt bad. I was like,
No,
"Oh,
I mean you don't know what those people are capable of. They're like seagulls. If he got set up in there one night, he would have been there all the time. It happened to me too. I know you're talking about like the it's almost like a mudroom, like in apartment buildings where there are like 3 units. There's like where the stairs are for each apartment. It's kind of open to the public, but kind of not because they leave the front door open.
yeah.
I have a very similar setup.
yeah."
And I guess a friend of my ex who was, let's just say, familiar with the homeless crowd. She's actually homeless now. Anyways, one of her, I guess, homeless friends, like, came up there in the middle of winter, like, hanging out on our mudroom. And I heard, like, a bunch of rustling or whatever, woke me up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And she goes, oh, I think it's X. He's here at the whatever. Just leave him alone. And so I'm like, I don't fucking think so. I'm gonna go out and say something to him. It's like, it's cold, it's winter. He's just out there. Just leave him be. I'm like, all right. So all of a sudden he starts like pounding on my door, yelling, and I whipped my door up, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? It turned out he was like in his underwear. Like I guess he had gotten all wet. Like maybe it was raining or something, but God knows what the fuck he was doing. He was like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And he grabbed his stuff and started running down the stairs. Like, oh my God, it was so fucking weird. Regardless.
That's my biggest fear, but okay. Home invasion,
Yeah,
never.
really.
Very brave you guys to open the door. Congratulations. Not me.
I know. Yeah, let's learn
The combination of
There.
my girlfriend telling me to let him stay there and him being in his underwear would bother me a little bit.
Yeah. Hence the reason she's my ex. Story for another episode, as we say very frequently on this show. Story for another time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. But we are bearing the lead here. We shall get in, and you shall therein discover why we are referencing these stories, because this does deal with a home invasion incident, but we shall dive into the details there surrounding it. But before we do that, We need to talk about the late evening hours of April Fool's Day, April 1st, 1922, where a German carpenter, Gabel Stevson, was just on his way home in the small Bavarian community of present-day Weidenhofen. There it is. There's Weidenhofen, settled between the towns of Ingolstadt and Schrabenhausen. I'm doing my best with these German sound names. Bavarian, Germany. The over 70-kilometer trip from Munich had exhausted this man, and he was so eager to get back to his wife and children, whom he hadn't seen in days. He was just rounding the last legs of his voyage when he passed the farmstead of his neighbors, the Grubers. Noting a faint glimmer of a lit stove and one of their cattle roaming around freely on the property, Stevenson slowed his buggy to a crawl. Although his neighbors weren't exactly the most affable family in the community, what with latent rumors of incest and abuse spreading like wildfire within the small Bavarian community, he still found the state of the farmstead odd given the late hour, as typically things were quiet and put away at this time of night. Just as this thought crossed his mind, a lantern swung, shining directly into the man's eyes from a looming figure roaming outside the farmstead.
Oh,
A
hell
sudden
no.
feeling of imminent danger took over the young carpenter as he made a mad dash home. And
Okay.
although he didn't know it, what he had just witnessed would become an important milestone in the fable and therein investigation of Germany's most infamous unsolved crime, the Hinterkaifeck murders.
Okay. By the way, everybody in a chat or whoever is watching this, if you are you're walking down your little farm and you see this, what do? Do you scream and run the other way, or do you go, "Hello, you're on my property, get off the property"? Like, what do you do?
Well,
Run the other way.
this figure in particular doesn't look too daunting.
You would say that, Nawson. You'd be like, "Hello, excuse me, what's your name? What's your date of birth? Can you please leave?" Like, you would say that, Nawson. I'd be like, "Who's there? Ah, what?"
What's you up to? Where you been? Would you like to get a cup of coffee?
Yeah,
I
Nawson would
need
be like,
coffee. Anybody want
Are
any
you
coffee? I'm
cold?
putting on a pot of coffee. All right.
I told the guy to leave. All right. I didn't.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
did, you
ask
did,
him
you
to
did.
stay.
Okay. The small rural property of Hinterkaifeck lay approximately 70 kilometers north of the German city of Munich. Set against Bavaria's flat, sweeping farmlands and meadows and pine forest, the acreage earned its unofficial name from a nearby hamlet called Schiefach, with the aforementioned Hinter being German from behind. Hinterkaifeck. There you go. Built in 1863, the farmstead boasted a single-story stone farmhouse in the shape of the letter L, with the living quarters accompanying the larger portion of the building, and the Voila Bon stables and engine room at the other side of the large property. Just outside the large yard featured a well crop of livestock, pastures, a tool shed that also functioned as a laundry and bakery. It was nestled in an isolated spot as the closest neighbor, the Gabelsons, were located a half-kilometer away, and to the nearest village was even further.
Oh.
This is the family, the Grubers. In 1922, Hinterkaifeck was owned and operated by three generations of the Grubers. The family was fronted by 63-year-old Andreas Gruber and his 72-year-old wife, Cecilia. Their 34-year-old daughter, Victoria, also lived at the farmstead, along with her two children, Joseph and 7-year-old Cecilia, who was named after her grandmother that went by the nickname Seely. Seely attended primary school in the nearby municipality of Veit, often with classes scheduled 6 days a week, including Saturdays. That's her little class. How cute.
How cute.
I'm a
Lucy
goofy
says,
goober.
Lucy says, I love these old photos.
That song popped in my head when I heard of it. The name Grubers.
Yeah. I'm a groovy Gruber. You're gonna get us demonetized. Oh yeah, we're not monetized. Never mind. Yeah, I'm a groovy Gruber. Brah! Believe me, as we're about to hear, there is nothing goofy about these Grubers. They are fucking maniacal. Let's put it that way. At least one of them is. But yeah, little Cecilia's in there somewhere. I couldn't pinpoint her. I was kind of putting this together in a little bit of a rush, but I did look for her. I wasn't able to find it. Here they are again.
Wow.
Andrea's wife, Cecilia, had inherited the farmstead when she was 35 following the death of her first husband in 1885. God damn, this was a long-ass time
A
ago.
long time ago, yeah.
So they probably didn't even have electricity. When was electricity invented? Like the early 1800s?
You know what? I don't know.
You don't need to look it up. I'm fairly certain they didn't have electricity. Cecilia had given birth to 2 sons, so with the following year, Cecilia married the property's farm hand in the wake of her late husband, the then 27-year-old Andreas Gruber, who had a reputation for being generally helpful and was known for lending a hand to nearby farm owners in the time of strife. However, shortly after marrying Cecilia, it would become quickly apparent how socially awkward and domineering the man truly was. Although the couple would ultimately conceive and birth 3 children, their firstborn, Victoria, was the only child to live past infancy.
Wow.
Isn't it crazy that back then that was like just kind of the way things were? Like you were just no wonder you were banging out so many kids. A lot of them weren't like making it to.
A lot of them died. It's crazy how high infant mortality was. It's insane. Oh, can you imagine giving birth to like 8 kids?
Especially back then. I bet you the percentage of people that died during childbirth was pretty high.
I know.
Too.
It's like, I'm pregnant. No. Okay. Good luck.
We've been like spoiled by modern science. I think all the time if like the zombie apocalypse were to descend upon us and we had to go back to like, Stone Age times of medicine, like, oh, fuck that. At least we know what we know now. Back then they like
people will die.
They thought they could like hex the demons out of you and stuff. Like bloodletting was a thing, and they just like, oh, you're sick. We'll just like get rid of some of your blood. That'll make it better.
Oh my God.
We'll just some leeches on you.
Or better than that, you're sick. You must be a sinner.
Or that. Or that.
Yeah. Dear Lord, we're not that far removed from that period of time. I mean, what 1776 was the American Revolution, and it wasn't long after that the Salem witch trials took place. So we're really close to that time period.
Some people probably still believe that you get sick from sinning.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yes, you're correct. Some people still do believe that.
Look at like the Amish, right? They think their souls get captured when you take their picture.
Yeah. Or Jehovah Witness who don't believe in a blood transfusion.
Yeah. At any rate, allegations of Andreas, again, that's the father, beating his wife and children had run rampant in the surrounding community, escalating to such a point that neighbors speculated the 2 infants had succumbed to mistreatment and starvation. There was no evidence of that, by the way, but it's just like in painting the scene that we're in. These people were not thought of highly in their community, mainly because of the father, who is a ripe piece of shit. Speaking of ripe, by the time Victoria had reached the ripe old age of 16, she had admitted to a neighbor that the allegations of abuse were in fact true, as the figurehead of the family, her father Andreas, had in fact for years been forcing himself upon her. Victoria was forced to endure this abuse for well over a decade until she turned 27, and she became engaged to a man named Carl Gabriel. Here he is.
There was definitely a look back then.
Yeah, the handlebar mustache.
Yes. I guess it was the look.
Yeah,
that stash rules actually.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. I wish I could grow in. I've tried to like back when I had my stash. I used to try to like curl the ends of it. It never grew long enough to like get a proper curl. He does look like a proper right gentleman, though, doesn't he? He looks like he's ready to have like a bare knuckle brawl. Like you just take off his shirt and his hat and fucking.
Yeah,
I'm doing it. You can't see it, but the boxing stance where you like circle your hands in front of your face and put one foot in front, like.
Yeah.
I could do that with my stash, but like I don't want to do it because it's too hipster.
Yeah.
I just look like a douche.
Yeah, hipsters ruined that. They've ruined a lot of things. Like microbrewing. Why do they have to take good beer from us? Hipsters. Anyways. Okay. The pair were married in April of 1914, and although the deed to Hinterkaifeck was transferred to the newlyweds.
Wait, is that the same guy that was in this previous picture?
No. You called me out. I just grabbed a picture of a random couple that got married in 1920.
Okay. Good job,
Wait,
Beefy.
was
was
the previous guy him either, or is that just
No.
another random picture?
Yes, it was.
Nawson, I was about to say the same thing. I was like, is that the
Oh,
same
I
guy?
got caught. I tried to slip in a Lucy. I figured nobody would notice. Hi, man.
I love it. Hey,
I mean,
you're
after all
forceful,
that talk about the stash, it was like, wait, where's his
Where'd
stash?
it go? Yeah, he shaved it off.
And actually, why is
Where'd
his
he go?
face a completely different shape?
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a character from the Munsters.
He does. Yeah, he's got a very Munsterish vibe. They both do. I mean, she's kind of, maybe it's just a photo. Like you said, like old-timey photos, they have like a horror Victorian. I
Yeah,
think that's by design, though. You know, like those
by
old
design, the Victoria era.
Universal movies, they make me think of like October and spooky season, which we're in, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
The woman looks like she could be black.
Yeah, well, it is a black and white photo. Woo!
Blah, 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 blah. I don't have my air horn. You'll have to imagine that.
There's only two options
Blah,
there,
blah,
Nawson.
Beefy looked up black and white photos, and that's what he got.
Oh, God. This is random. Lucy says, in Massachusetts, I could shoot or injure a home invader. Oh, she's talking about the homeless people. But need to get them medical assistance, booby traps. I would feel about all the... Oh, yeah. I gotcha. Okay, random picture of random couple aside. Imagine they look like Andreas, or no, Victoria and Carl here.
So funny.
Tensions within the farmstead would quickly arise between the obvious disdain Victoria had for her abuser, her father, and Carl's hatred for the man who abused his new wife in the household ran high for a number of years. Carl was often
Wait 1 second. So you mean to
ahead.
tell me that even though she got married, he was still abusing her?
That is the thought, yeah.
Okay.
But also, they're also living in the same house as the guy that's
Yeah.
been basically raping her for the past decade.
Yeah.
So I would kill the guy, like flat out. If I married a girl and found out that her dad was, that's wow.
Yeah, it would it would send you through all these fates. Yep, of course.
Carl often was heard complaining of the bullying and torment Andreas rained down upon them, likely over his fixation over his daughter. Both as patriarch as an abuser, it's clear he was obsessed with this girl. Like, it's so fucking gross. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Carl ended up returning home a few weeks after the wedding. However, his family insisted he return and try to make his marriage work, likely due to the Hinterkaifeck now being in his family's name. So, in other words, Carl wants to back out because he hates the dad, but his family, when he tries to go home, are like, "Fuck that! You own that house now. Technically, you're going to make it work.
You're part of the family now, son."
Yeah. The marriage would, however, be short-lived, as not even 4 months after the union, Carl would be drafted into World War I and reported as missing in action.
Of course.
Speculation has led many to believe he actually ran away due to life at the farm being so unbearable. However, there is little in the way of evidence to support that. I would.
Maybe he
Actually,
did.
no, fuck that. I wouldn't. Like, I couldn't leave her home again with this fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Like,
But don't forget also, back in those days, misogyny was also pretty big. So he probably was like, "Oh my god, my wife is soiled." They didn't look at women like that as like partners. They looked at them as like, baby making machines.
property.
Like,
well, even more so than like I would take her, move her into my parents or something. Like, watch over this. Oh my god! Like, I get it was a century ago, but
I think he's probably thinking like, I can get another one, brand new. Oops.
Well, divorce was a much bigger thing back then. I think they were probably more inclined to make it work.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, it's Germany,
Yeah, that's true. Different culture. It's very true.
World War I,
Sounds
Germany.
like they were all wicked low income. I mean, it's not like he
True.
moved in with his wife's father's house. I mean, like that's like, poverty.
Yeah.
You're right.
We're gonna get into the financial situation here in a minute, but you may not be wrong.
Oh, of course we are, Beefy. I'm telling you
Yeah,
nothing.
always, right?
Beefy. Beefy will fuck you
Before
up.
year's end, Victoria would give birth to her first child, young Seeley, with surrounding rumors trying to piece together the timeline of when the baby could possibly have been conceived. So
You
he
know
left
what?
4 months after the wedding, and then the baby is born shortly after that. That's a.
Is it the father's
It was the
baby?
common. Yeah, it was the common belief that the baby was actually fathered by Andreas, but both legally and in reputation, the baby was presented as Carl's daughter.
Oh God.
Within 6 months of the baby's birth, Andreas and Victoria were convicted of incest. And this fucking boils my blood. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Victoria would end up serving a month in prison for being assaulted.
Yeah. Welcome
That's
to
it. Just
misogyny.
yeah. That's fucking disgusting. Like I know this was fucking like some of it. This was the times, but
That was
this
the
guy
time.
only observing like a year in prison. Like, in what world does it make sense that she's going to prison for being fucking raped?
Yeah, no. You know, women's right came a very long way, not long ago. But not long ago, that was the norm. Yeah. I have some clients who
Yeah,
are
I honestly I put a lot of attention in this script towards the family situation of Victoria and the father, because I honestly present the father raping the daughter in the basic, like she was basically their slave for her entire life. That's
Yeah.
like the real crime in this. That she lived her entire life as this man's plaything, and then, as we'll find out, did not meet the happiest of ends. But
yeah.
man, that's the tragedy. Is
I mean,
Victoria here.
her serving time, I guess the implication there is that she was a willing participant.
Yeah.
Not that I'm
Yeah.
justifying it, but it's odd. Like maybe she had like Stockholm syndrome or something like that.
So Lucy's chiming in. Beefy, it would have been considered that she seduced a man. That's what the
I see. That
opinion
it was
of
her
people would have been
fault
back
for
then.
abusing her father.
Lucy's chiming in, quote, "For not defending yourself from grape, you will be in prison for a month. Next time, fight back better." Yeah, well said.
Yeah, that's probably why she was convicted for. Yeah, I don't think it was. It was just the simple fact is like, like Lucy said, you entice your father, therefore you're guilty.
Yeah, maybe.
Disgusting. This was the part of the case that was like really hard for me to read about. I mean, obviously the murders themselves are horrific, but this just like on a fundamental, like personal level,
Yeah.
I don't like it.
It's because we've been so desensitized to murder. It's normal to us now.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, very true.
So
Like,
got
you got
murdered.
murdered.
Really?
What else
Oh
is
my
new? What
God.
else is going
Tell
on?
me
Yeah.
more. Right.
The other day, I heard about this story about this guy that was he was graping dogs, and I literally I couldn't process it. Like it was so horrifying to me. I remember thinking like, there is no amount of torture good enough for this man. Like he deserves the deepest, darkest. But in like reality, why is that any worse than him doing that to a person? But it's like I'm just desensitized to it. You know what I mean? Like for some reason. Murder, it's like, oh yeah, I hear it all the time, happens all the time. But like a rape of an animal, I still just want to kill him.
That's pretty gross. But was it like full penetration?
Yeah, I don't want to.
Or just like touching inappropriately?
No, there were videotapes and that's the whole thing. That's pretty recent. Oh, we just lost a couple people. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, that was a whole rabbit hole. We don't need to go down right now.
Oh my God! What a tangent! I love tangents. Yay, tangents! This is wow. That's
yeah, you did. Unfortunately, yeah, we lost a couple people when they heard that. Sorry, guys. Yeah, for anybody watching the replay crew, my apologies. We're not going to get into that any further. Sorry. All right. Andreas would only end up serving a minuscule 12 months in prison and was there and released upon them once again, returning home to Hinterkaifeck in the autumn of 1918. By the following autumn, Victoria was once again pregnant. Fucking surprise, surprise. No doubt this time with Andrea's son, Joseph. Although it was obvious to townsfolk and police alike, the father listed the help of a nearby neighbor, listing only an LS, with the Gruber family paying off a young single neighbor by the name of Lawrence Schlittenbauer to be the on-paper father of the child. Things carried on rather eventless for the following years, with the farm getting by on a rather stable financial status, as the family of 5 tended to crops, cattle, oxen, pigs, and chickens, with Victoria being considered to be the main farmhand. The family
Oh,
was in such well financial standings as to hire a full-time live-in maid, 23-year-old Krantz Riga, in November of 1920. Most of what we know about the Gruber's affairs are due to Krantz's time serving in Hinterkaifeck. She witnessed suitor and suitor arrive at Hinterkaifeck stores, with Andreas locking Victoria in a closet, telling her time and time again, quote, "You will never remarry, and you will be mine as long as you live." Krantz even witnessed the two engaged in sexual activity in the barn one day, with later in the evening Victoria apologizing to her, saying, quote, "If I had known you were coming, I wouldn't have surrendered to my father." It was around this time that strange occurrences started happening around the farmstead. First, a set of house keys went missing. Then, a newspaper was found on the property from Munich, which is 70 miles away, that nobody on the property had any idea where it came from and didn't have a subscription to. The property mechanic shop, which was normally kept under lock and key, was found broken into, like the lock was smashed, and there were snow tracks leading in and then leading out, and nobody on the property knew what the hell was going on. And Andreas at one point even found tracks coming in from the forest in snow, but wasn't able to find any tracks going out. So in other words, someone came into the farm property and then
Wow.
never fucking left.
Never left, yeah.
Laurent
Oh.
Schlittenbauer, the on-paper father of young Joseph Gruber, even offered to contact police and lend a revolver to Andreas. Andreas refused, claiming not to want police to enter his home. A different neighbor ran into Andreas, wherein he expressed concern that a foreign entity may be intruding their privacy on the farmstead. When the neighbor offered to call police and help search, Andreas once again refused, saying he felt capable of defending himself. The strange events reached an all-out fever pitch when live-in maid Krantz Riga heard rumblings and footsteps in the attic late one night. She awoke Andreas in an all-out panic, and Andreas searched the entire property, finding nothing amiss. The next day, Krantz quit, claiming the farmstead was, quote, haunted. In her place, Maria Baumgartner was hired as a replacement. Maria was a deeply religious and introverted woman who had worked as a maid until her mother's death in 1904. When Victoria came upon them asking if she'd be interested in the job, her sister, this is Maria's sister, Francisca, insisted she take the position, as her sister had become somewhat of a recluse in the years following her mother's death. Suffering from intellectual disability, Maria was often mocked by people due to a birth defect that left one leg significantly shorter than another. It was with the intentions of getting her sister out and into the world that she insisted Maria take the position. And so we would find ourselves on the morning of March 31st, 1922, that Maria Baumgarten would start as the full-time live-in maid at the farmstead of Hinterkaifeck. Seeley was reportedly noticeably exhausted in school this day. When the teacher inquired as to why the child was falling asleep in class, she reportedly told the teacher that the family spent the night looking for her mother, when we know, in fact, it was actually the previous night the maid had reported footsteps in the attic, and Andreas made the entire family get up and search the property.
Wow.
Rather than doing it himself. That's a real class act, this fucking guy.
I know. At night, too.
Yeah. To which little was found beyond some hay in the attic and bits of food and defecation, which Andreas chalked up to, quote, pests. Oh, I fucking hate this guy.
Yeah.
Andreas made a trip into town during the day on the 31st, wherein when the clerk at the hardware store inquired about their foreign invader, Andreas claimed he wasn't afraid and that he already prepared his rifle. Victoria was heard expressing fear that someone was determined to break into their property, where Andreas quickly chirped in to quiet her down and that it was a family matter that would be handled privately. And so, it would be in the evening hours of that same day, March 31st, the new maid would enter the bedchambers of Andreas and Cecilia, reporting that one of the cattle had gotten out of the barn. Andreas, now in his bed attire, grumbled, got out of bed, retrieved his rifle, and escorted the cow back into the barn. The night got eerily quiet. As the hours passed on without Andreas returning to bed, Cecilia ended up going out to look for him. She checked and went into the barn to look for him without ever returning. Victoria and the new maid watched as she entered the barn and waited patiently for her return. The minutes clicked by, and she never came back. It was at this point Victoria got noticeably uncomfortable, pacing back and forth and beginning to put on her coat. Maria, the new maid, pleaded with her not to go into the barn, but instead wait until daybreak where they could notify a neighbor or police. Victoria, however, assured her that this wasn't necessary and quickly exited the homestead towards the barn. She quietly shuffled her feet through the snow and peered into the barn for just a moment before her face grew white with fright just before sprinting inside. Hours went by, with not even such as a moo from a cow or peep from a chick could be heard from the barn. Maria eventually resigned herself to try and get some sleep and that she would raise the alarm for authorities in the morning, as the new maid was now left alone in the homestead. She dressed herself for bed, and just as she laid down, she exhausted a sigh of relief as she heard the front door close and the heavy footsteps of a man's boots lumbering around in the kitchen. It had to be Andreas, she told herself, relieved, as she then sat down to roll over to go to bed. This was likely the last thought to ever go through Kranz's mind, as shortly afterwards, her bedchamber door would be kicked open, and a looming figure would stand before her in the shadows. A pickaxe would then be lifted up and swiftly drop down upon her skull. The killer then made his way to the children's room. With several swift blows to the head, little Celie was bludgeoned to death with the same pickaxe that murdered her mother and grandparents. And with his bare hands, the killer beat little Joseph's head into a bloody pulp, while the infants left sleeping in his bassinet. The killer then made himself at home on the property, tending to the animals and fixing himself food, all the while with the bodies of the maid and the children just in the other rooms. For police believed to be 3 to 4 days, neighbors reported seeing the stove lit in the home and the animals tended to. One neighbor even claimed to have seen a strange man tying up the family dog during one of the days shortly after the attacks. Cecilia was also notably unexcusedly absent from school, and the entire family missed Sunday worship.
Oh,
Here we'll take a little break. What do you guys think so far?
I think I have an idea who it is, even though it was never solved.
Oh, who do you think it is?
So I think it's the first husband who went to war, and he came back, and he was unrecognizable. That's why people thought it was a strange man. And he wanted to settle the score. He was like, this family is disgusting. Those kids are gross. They're a product of incest. The religion, it's all like it's ungodly. And so he was very convicted to go there and do God's work.
There's a lot of speculation leading to that. In fact, it was noted on the crime scene that even though Victoria's head was bashed in with a pickaxe, she was also strangled, which was it led police to believe that the crime was personal in nature. They would ultimately decide upon theft as being the main motivation for the attacks, but it's that one evidence that actually launched an entire. There's like a documentary that was put together, and actually a few articles ran in the newspaper in like the late 1920s, shortly after this, that revolved around that theory that it was what you're talking about.
Ah, that it was the guy. Oh, look at me.
Well, they didn't hone in exactly on Carl. They speculated it was either Lorenz Schlittenbauer, who was the on paper father of the illegitimate child, or Carl, the father who took off in World War I. Yeah, one of those two. But it was speculated upon that the attacks were personal. Sounds like the Villisca axe murders. Yeah, it's basically Villisca is basically the American version of these attacks.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question to you, Nawson and Beefy. If you were the maid, what would you do? Would you go back to the house and tuck yourself to bed and be like, all right, let's see what happens tomorrow?
I was going to ask about this actually. That part, the way you described all the murders, you made that up, right? You made that up based off of where the bodies were found.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Just thought I'd clear that up.
Yeah, but still. Nawson.
Sorry, I always present the true crime in narrative form to more tell a story than just like anybody can read a case file.
That's true. Okay, but you guys still haven't answered the question.
Would I go to bed? Hell no. No. I'm calling
Yeah.
the police as soon as Dad doesn't come back out. I'm rounding everybody up because they were on high alert. Like they knew somebody was there.
Yeah, they don't high alert. I'm like, come on, wake up, wake up, wake up. Everybody get a knife.
He went into the barn with a rifle because he's like, oh, it's probably the guy who's been breaking into our fucking barn.
We're not going to bed, honey. Wake up. We're going to war.
I don't know. It's hard to say. It's possible I might just go to bed. You don't have that many options here because it's like there's like Beefy was saying earlier. There's no electricity.
Yeah.
Like it's not
I don't
like
even think they had. I mean, they didn't have a car, but like you got around by horse and buggy. I don't think they had one. So she'd have to walk.
in
not
the snow.
walking.
Yeah, in the snow.
I'm cold.
In the pitch dark.
And with
Well,
no
no, it's
insulation.
Maybe with a lantern.
So
Yeah, and
so the most comfortable spot was the bed and the blanket.
well, it's a note in the case file too that this farm is very isolated. Like their neighbors in the next town were like kilometers, which is miles away. So she would have had to walk all night.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those stories I always say. Excuse me for speaking out loud, but you know, we speak our minds here. You know, the cabin murders, all these remote murders. Black people don't die like that. I'm always like, that's so remote. Like we're like, where are we going? Middle of nowhere. For what? For a picnic.
It is kind of like white people thing, like like let's go to our remote lake house.
Yeah,
and
go to a remote lake house. Yes, I'm always like these stories it's never a black person who gets murdered. I'm always like, why go on I mean, this is not this particular one, but why go on vacation on a remote island when no one is around? Like, what? I'm scared. No. Is the police nearby? Is a fire station nearby? Is there a neighbor?
Eaten by Aboriginal cannibals on vacation. That still happens, by the way.
What?
Oh yeah, like islands where they're uncivilized and they're
Yeah, there's been cases in the past few years where people have gone on vacation in like remote areas where there's Aboriginal tribes and they've been killed.
Yeah. There was that the religious guy who was trying to bring the Lord's word to one of the tribes where it's like you're not allowed to go to because they kill people on sight. And he wrote in his diary that he tried to reach the beach where they were, and they started firing arrows at him, but he still went back to try again, like the next fucking guy. Gotta bring them the Lord's word.
Wow.
And like they've probably never seen a white person before, and it's totally freaky to them. It's like you're a ghost.
Like, what is that? I don't know, mommy. Yeah. Get him. Okay.
Yeah. Well, with a lot of like extreme people who are really into religion, they think that if you don't worship their God, I'm not going to provide exclusions to any religion. If you don't worship their God, ignorance is not an excuse. So people that have never heard the word of the Lord are just bound for eternity in hell. So that's what motivated him. It was like, oh, I have to tell them about Jesus because they're going to burn him like a fire.
Yeah. You make a good point there.
I don't know how we got off on this tangent.
It was just me saying. It was just me pointing out like a lot of these remote murders, remote killing. It's never like black family killed over there. It's usually always
the conquistadors did it better. They had a better approach. Like we'll get armed to the teeth when we go and spread the word of the Lord, and if they don't accept it, we'll just kill them.
Oh my God.
We'll just speed up.
I thought they were from Mexico.
They're from Spain.
Spain.
Oh, okay,
yeah. No, Spain.
That was like during the Holy Wars or something, I take it?
They're the reason why Mexicans all speak Spanish.
Yes, there's a reason. Oh, damn, Nawson. Clearly you went to history class.
Yeah, he knows his history. Good for you.
Yeah, good for you, Governor.
So we didn't get your take on this whole thing, Nawson. Thoughts on the story thus far?
No, it's freaky. It's real freaky.
Do you think it's a ghost, Nawson?
Are you serious?
Oh,
you're asking me that? unironically.
We had a psychic sleuth on, so
How dare you, Governor? Yes, I'm serious. I'm serious.
No, I think it was the first husband.
yeah.
Oh, I love the seriousness of the
He
response.
was like in the middle of World War I, and he was like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go kill my ex-family."
Yep.
He
But
just
then
why
why
not?
kill Victoria?
Because
probably.
remember,
I think it's because she was willingly having sex with the dad.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
And had a child with him that
more than
they were
one.
passing off as his.
Oh yeah, he comes home and finds. Oh, I didn't even piece that together. So yeah, a child was born while he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes home, full scraggy beard. I ran away from the war to come home to you, honey. And he's in the forest lurking, and he sees.
Yeah.
What's he see? 2 kids come running out. Oh, dude, that would motivate me to fucking murder too.
Yeah, especially back in the day where they had no like in the middle of nowhere. You could get away with anything over there back in.
But
Back in
then
those days.
why the stalking on the property for the days before? Why not just as soon as you get home, just murder him?
I guess he wanted to see, who's there. Where do I go in by? Has to scope things out.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was a
Interesting,
murderer,
yeah.
I wouldn't just go in there and murder people. I'd be like, okay, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Everybody's eating. Got it. You know what I mean? I'd be like, all right. So every Tuesday, they seem to be distracted. Okay, perfect.
Well, no,
So
he
then
didn't even need the binoculars. We're gonna get into some of the evidence they found on the farmstead. But yeah, whoever it was watching the family for probably even longer than they suspected.
Oh, you see.
He had to wait for the right time.
Yeah, he was on the farmstead for a long time before he finally was like, okay, it's fucking murder night. Like how he decided when and where, who the fuck knows? But
Today,
Probably when it started snowing, it's like, look, this attic's too cold.
yeah.
Get this done.
Let's get this over with.
let's get this over with. I need to live in the main house because
Yeah.
he made himself a meal the next day, right? And he took care of the animals. It's like, woo, that attic was cold. Yeah, Nawson, I think you're correct there.
It's very much was. We're gonna find out some of the details, but it very much was the intention of whoever did it to basically move in. Like that was the thought. It's not until people started showing up to like conduct business with the farm, he was like, "Fuck, this isn't gonna work."
Yeah.
You know what this story reminds me of? Did you ever used to watch those David Firth cartoons?
No, what's that?
He made that Salad Fingers cartoon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He did that one kind of music type video. It's like kind of like a short cartoon he made called The Milkman. Did you ever watch that?
No.
Oh, you have
No.
to see it. I wish the milkman would deliver my milk. This guy like
How long is it?
is watching. It's like maybe a minute or two. This guy's like watching this milkman go about his rounds like every day, and it's like this weird like freaky looking guy who like lives in the shadows, and then one day just kills him and
Takes
puts
his
on his
job.
clothes, drives around the neighborhood as the milkman, and then goes back to his
Okay,
house.
I
and
got it.
murders
Hang
his
on,
family.
don't spoil it. Hang on. Don't say anymore. Don't say anymore.
Are you gonna play it for us?
Yes,
This is
sir.
why I don't like Halloween, because Halloween is when the murderers come out without any problems.
I wish the milkman would deliver my milk in the morning. I wish the milkman would deliver my milk when I'm yawning. I wish the milkman would deliver my milk in the morning. I wish the milkman would deliver my milk when I'm
I
yawning.
love the wink.
Like some milk from the milkman's wife's tits. I would love from the milkman's wife's tits.
Oh my god.
Some milk from the milkman's wife's tits. I would love some milk from the milkman's wife's tits.
I'm sorry. How is this in real
Hold
life?
on,
Oh,
it's you're about to
okay,
see.
okay.
It's
Sorry,
happening
sorry.
right now.
Oh my god.
There he is. There's our murderer. We solved it.
Who made this song?
David
David
Firth.
Firth.
We're doing some real internet sleuthing right here.
This is one wife. Oh my! Oh, this is really gonna get shut down. This is private. YouTube will kick our ass. Ooh, honey.
Is that a twist ending?
How did that even make it on YouTube?
Oh, are you kidding me?
I don't know.
The channel's probably not monetized. This is probably made back in the glory days of YouTube when there was like.
Oh wow!
That
But
was made
What the
before.
fuck did I just walk in on?
wait, I thought the censorship takes that stuff down. So this is still
No, we were
running.
talking about Hinterkaifeck. What the fuck is this? Bro, what?
Bro, what?
For some reason, it reminded me of that.
That's so
There's
funny.
there's
Well,
similarities.
for a second, I thought he was gonna take over the life for the milkman.
I know.
Like you're talking about. Like he
Like his
almost wanted-
identity,
Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
I remembered it. But I guess he just put the hat on.
he killed everybody.
I'm low-key disappointed, bro. You've been on my live streams. Would you really expect any less debauchery? Maybe because Alistair's here, we do keep it a little more classy on the podcast. But yeah, Nawson's here, so we've reached all levels of depravity at this point.
I'm a classy bitch. I'm a classy bitch.
All right, back to our tale. Sorry, everyone. Sidetrack over. Holy ADHD on a bagel. Okay.
Wait, is this how the bodies were found?
Yeah, I have an actual picture of the crime scene. Before I show it, I'm gonna throw a caution thing out there. But
Oh wait, you're gonna throw a caution for that, but not for the milkman? I love it.
I didn't
You know
realize
what?
how bad that was gonna get. I had no idea.
Okay, go ahead. Put your disclaimer.
All right,
It's okay. It's just a cartoon.
No, it's just
Yeah,
a
it's-
cartoon. I'm just pulling on your tails. I just hope YouTube doesn't KILL.
I don't know. Yeah, if we didn't get demonetized from stick figure theater, I think we're okay. I think we're probably
right.
It wasn't until April 4th that assembler Albert Hoffner arrived in the farmstead to repair an engine. He knocked on the door with no response and noted that the property had been locked up tight. Assuming the family was away, he tended to his repairs and then shortly left. It wasn't until about 3:30 p.m. the next day that Lorenz Schlittenbauer, again the supposed father of little baby Joseph, sent his actual sons to check on the family as he hadn't heard from them in some time. When they returned, claiming not to have seen anyone, Lorenz descended upon the farmstead himself. With a few friends in tow, they attempted to open the barn, but found the door had been propped shut by a wooden beam. Eventually forcing the door open, they discovered the bodies of Andreas Gruber, his wife Cecilia Gruber, and his daughter Victoria. Okay, I'm going to show the picture. We're only going to show it for 10 seconds.
I'm gonna scream. Do we see bodies?
Yeah, we do see dead bodies. You don't see faces, but I'm gonna show it in 3, 2, 1. We're gonna show it for 10 seconds. So if you don't want to see it, just look away. And okay, there it is.
What? What the? What?
I can't really make it out anyway.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
that's why I did the breakdown there, so you can kind of see where everybody is.
Oh, wait a minute. It's not that bad. I thought it was gonna be that bad, but because it's black and white, we don't see any red.
Okay, we're jumping past it. Yeah, jumping past it. Okay.
Wow, he really got in there with the axe. What?
Yeah, I mean they were staged. That wasn't where they were found. He kind of dragged them all over it, and as we found out, the crime scene, by the time they actually took those photos, was absolutely bungled. It took the police several days to descend upon the crime scene, and basically the entire neighborhood had been in there. People were in there making food and posing for selfies with the bodies, and it was a whole fucking thing.
Wow.
Inspector George Reingruber and his department investigated the killings. Initial investigations were hampered by the number of people who had interacted with the crime scene, moved the bodies and items around, and even cooked and eaten meals in the kitchen. The day after the discovery of the bodies, court physician John Baptist Amuller performed autopsies in the barn. It was established that a pickaxe was the most likely murder weapon, although the weapon itself was not found at the scene until several days later, when carpenters noted some loose floorboards by the stairs in the attic. When they pried them up, they discovered a makeshift bed made out of hay and the murder weapon, a pickaxe that had been stolen from the barn covered in blood. Evidence showed that the younger Cecilia had been alive for several hours after the assault. She had torn her hair out in tufts while laying in the straw. The skulls of the victims were removed and sent to Munich for further examination. First suspecting the motive to be robbery, the police interrogated traveling salesmen, vagrants, and several inhabitants from the surrounding villages, but they abandoned this theory when a large amount of money was found in the house. It was clear the perpetrators had remained at the farm for several days. Someone had fed the cattle, consumed the entire supply of bread from the kitchen, and recently cut meat in the pantry. With no clear motive to be gleaned from the crime scene, the police began to formulate a list of suspects. Despite repeated arrests, no murderer has ever been convicted, and the case files were closed in the late 1950s. The last known interrogations were to have taken place in 1986, before Police Detective Chief Superintendent Conrad Mueller retired. The funeral.
Lord.
Oh yeah, that's the murder weapon. That's the pickaxe that they believe was to have been used. Oh, and I didn't show it, but there was a screw in the handle, and there were several star-shaped penetrations in young Cecilia's skull that they couldn't figure out, like, why did she have all these puncture wounds? And once they found the murder weapon, they were able to tie the puncture wounds back to the screw in the handle, so they know that it's in fact this is the murder weapon.
Wow.
The funeral for the Gruber family boasted an impressive 3,000 people, despite being originally broadcasted for the day before. The entire family were buried in a single plot, with the adults flanking the tiny caskets for the children. To this day, a memorial exists on the Hinterkaifeck property in remembrance of the attacks.
Is it haunted?
Probably.
Oh boy. I bet you nobody wants to buy that place. For sale for $2. No thanks.
Do you believe in ghosts, Alistair?
Depends. It depends. If I'm in the corner and there's a floating object in front of me, sure.
In the middle of the day, with a sound mind and body. No, I don't believe it. But late at night, when I see something floating, yeah, I believe in ghosts.
Shut up. No, I don't. But I believe in a random killer. Home invasion is one of the scariest things. So scary.
Yeah, there is a certain facet to it that is very terrifying. Like, I live alone now, and I at late at night I get freaked out sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I said, there's the attic access in my little back patio thing, and sometimes I feel like I can hear people stomping around. Like I used to joke around with my ex, like, "Oh, it's the guy in the attic," and I used to always like look at my vents looking for a fucking set of eyeballs up there. I need to buy a gun.
To that point, my mother lives like in a rural area where they're not really close to anybody.
Yeah.
And like I've stayed at that house by
I get
myself.
freaked out when I stay in like really rural. Yeah, at nighttime.
And it would freak me out. Like they were having a problem with their motion sensor for their lights.
Oh.
So
dude.
the lights were just going on randomly in the middle of the night, and I get really freaked out. Like, you know, you wake up in the middle of the night and your mind's just not working properly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like when you're out in the middle of nowhere, it's like, man, no one's even gonna hear me scream. Like there's a certain comfort in living in the city.
I know people that live in those rural properties, and they say they love the privacy, but like I go back home for holidays or whatever, and my parents have like a really rural outpost like that, And I freak the fuck out at night, like going out to smoke cigarettes. I like stare into the woods. Like somebody could be out there just staring at me, and I have no fucking. I hate it.
Yeah, it sucks. Um, in uh, in France, we live in a rural area, but it's the neighbors is you can see them visually, but it's still a far walk. But still nobody will know if you're being killed there because you can't hear anything. You'd be like, oh, the lights are on and it looks like someone is dancing, but I can't really see. Well,
Check out some of the comments here. People cooking and eating around the dead bodies is the most Skyrim NPC behavior I've ever heard of.
I don't know if people
That
know
is
what
very
Skyrim is.
Skyrim. Yeah, you just kill everybody in the house and then raid all the.
I like the
cabins.
reference too.
Yeah.
Like when the investigator comes over to the site, the people that are cooking just look at him. They're like, "Need something?"
Yeah. Need something? Yeah.
My
Dialogue
God.
options. Somebody move this body out of the way. I'm trying to cook my Schnitzengruben.
Gruben.
Lucy says, I used to hear footsteps in the eve, turned out to be critters. Yeah, raccoons breaking into your attic is a pretty common thing.
Yeah.
Bubba says he grew up in the country and he misses it. There is like a certain level of like it being quiet that's nice, but like I can't even sleep in it anymore. I've gotten so used to like Puerto Rican music and sirens and just like I can't sleep. Yeah. No,
I can't sleep unless there's like 30 decibels of Puerto Rican music
yeah,
blasting through my walls.
Not to sound racist, but why is it always really fucking loud? Like, what is it with Latino music that has to be like uncomfortably loud?
It's
like,
a loud culture.
You think that I'm exaggerating? There's a McDonald's next to my house, and like at 4 a.m, I'm a pretty far distance away, and that shit will wake me up, and I can't go back to sleep. It's that loud.
Out of their cars, right?
Oh
yeah, and I'm not a light sleeper. That's what I'm saying. That's how loud it is.
Oh wow.
My upstairs neighbor would play music so loud that like I thought it was loud through the floor.
Wow. Yeah.
Like this guy
I don't
know how this guy wasn't going deaf.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well.
And like my downstairs neighbors, I have two my second floor and the first floor neighbors are both of Latin culture, and they both do that. And they have little kids in their houses. Like those kids are going to school the next day. It's like a Tuesday. And they're blaring it like he's saying, so loud that it's loud in my apartment that I can barely hear the TV. I can't imagine those fucking kids.
But you have to go to school tomorrow. You're so funny.
Anyways.
It's like a Tuesday.
I live in a rural area. I'm afraid of someone watching me, but also a bobcat attack.
Wow. So how rural? Wow. No, even those vacation homes, you mentioned your no. I need to be able to be like, help me. I need to be able to scream very loud. Someone be like, oh, I think I heard a scream. I need you to know if you're gonna come and kill me. I need you to know that you have to work for this meal.
Yeah.
There's no freebie.
Yeah.
It's something very random, but you know how sometimes like you hit your foot by the bed, or like you knock the elbow by mistake at the side of the door and it hurts really bad for a small moment. Can you imagine being like assaulted? Because that like every time I'm like, that hurt a lot, but couldn't imagine just cut my arm off. Like I'm like. That hurts, but can you imagine someone just like threw an axe on my thigh? Like it's sometimes I go through like the pain threshold.
From what I understand, people that go through that kind of trauma, it's all encompassing. Like you can't focus on anything but how much pain you're in. But also you go into shock at a certain point, and it's like I've had beer bottles broken over my head, and I remember like kind of being stunned. Like I remember just like hearing the ringing and not really even processing that I've been hit because your adrenaline pumps. But I do remember just like the like hearing the smash and then the ringing in my ears, and then just like the instinctive primitive like nature took in to just like fight. Like the fight or flight kicked in, and like I said, I didn't even feel it. It was like adrenaline kicked in.
The next day,
I was about to say like because of the weird way your nervous system works, like blunt force trauma to the head, I don't think hurts like that.
Yeah.
Like I think especially if it's like a killer blow, you probably don't even really feel it. Probably just die instantly. Because you don't really have a lot of like pain sensory nerves in your brain.
You don't have it in your brain. But
yeah, but there are a lot of nerve endings in your. I just actually watched a video about being skinned alive, which is like the most painful way to die. And there are so many nerve endings in your face because your face muscles are so expressive. It's like the most painful area you can experience like a laceration in is your face. It's like it's so painful you can't even, like I said, it's all encompassing. It's like you can't think or focus on anything else but the pain. Anyways, there's Hinterkaifeck for you, ladies and gents.
Sorry, I'm just look at that.
Sneaky gnomes coming in. Hey y'all, and we're talking about like getting skinned alive and the grape of Van. Forget it.
I love the icon of spooky little gnome. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, she's like my new if it's a she, I think it's a she.
Your name
you're my new favorite listener.
Spooky little gnome. Spooky little gnome. Spooky. So spooky.
So Alistair.
Yes.
I heard that you found something on the internet.
I did. Hey, Governor, let me ask you this question. What do you think about of all these introduction stuff that Biffy put together?
They're cool.
They're so cool, right?
And did Dave Reed? Did he make that music too?
No.
Yeah.
But he made the other one.
That one, no. Yeah, the intro and the outro he made for us.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, really good. He's a very talented musician. He's actually was supposed to be working on a rap for us that was going to be like, yo, and Beat the squirrel, y'all, and Alistair be coming with them murderbacks or something. I gave him a bunch of talking points, but I think
did he play the instruments, or did he make that digitally?
I think he made it digitally. I don't think he played the instruments.
Okay.
He's a really good guitarist, but I don't think he knows how to play because that's trumpets in the beginning. I know that. Anyways,
I'm laughing.
You want to tee up this?
Let me put you guys up with this thing. So there's this story I saw online, and it was completely ridiculous. So let me ask you all this question: how many of you here drink coffee? I'm going to assume all of us, right? Or at least we've had
several
every morning. What do you do when your coffee doesn't taste quite right? You still drink
I know what you found already. I'm not going to spoil it, but I know what you found.
Okay, but you still drink it a little bit, right? It's like
I assume
a little watery.
The cream's been spoiled. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, effort. My immune system will deal with it, right?
Because sometimes, like, if you put a cup of coffee with cream in the microwave, you'll even see like the little chunks from your cream kind of being curled. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would just drink it.
Drink it, right?
Well, the coffee at my work is like the cheapest coffee you can get, and like cheapo coffee, like it has a weird taste to it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it has a weird taste to it. And also, like if you go to like the hospital, because the water is super filtered, and like the coffee there tastes also weird. So you're like, oh, you know what? It's just coffee. It does its job. Let me just drink it. Now,
actually, I like hospital coffee because it comes out of those machines. Like, remember in Terminator with the cup that has like the full house on it? I always think back to vending machine coffee and think it tastes good because I think Terminator. You know what I'm talking about in Terminator 2, where the cop like has his finger through the guy's eye. Yeah.
I don't remember that specific scene. That's a great movie, though.
Yeah, it is.
Great movie. But anyway. So in today's stuff I found on the internet, there's this guy who's like, you know what? My coffee tastes really weird, but you know what? I'm home. How bad could it be? Okay. So he drinks the coffee for 3 weeks and it tastes super weird. And then he's like, I don't feel so good. What is going on? Honey, his wife was trying to kill him.
You want me to play this?
Play.
Watch this. Guaranteed.
Well, this
You're gonna see purple. Boom.
I'll tell you what.
Wow.
A military wife is now charged with attempted first-degree homicide after her husband allegedly caught her on camera pouring bleach into his coffee maker.
Okay.
He says it was all to get life insurance benefits.
Okay. Look at that. Full purple. I know what. Like that's insane. That's like
That's
a lot of, look at that.
that's a pH test, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's a pH test. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all these bubbles. Like, girl.
Hang on. So you guys are both scientists. Bleach is an acid, correct?
It's basic, but yes, sure.
Well, wait. If you say it's basic, then it's a base. Is it an acid or a base?
It's, Governor, what would you say? So it's basic, but people see it as acidic. It's basic. It's not acid. There you go. It's
I don't
basic.
know.
No, it's basic.
Okay,
It's basic.
I know it's the
But
extreme end of one of those spectrums. The only reason I
Well, it's
ask is I'm
basic.
wondering what this pH level is saying. Is it saying that it's?
It was
I mean, the
all to get
pH is obviously out of whack, but like,
life
what is that
insurance
supposed to
benefits.
mean?
I don't think that's litmus paper. I think that's a chemical test kit or something.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
'Cause-
pH between 11 and 13. So yeah, it's very basic.
Yeah.
It's the most
Okay.
basic thing you can
But
have.
I don't think
Right.
that's litmus paper though.
Yeah, I think you're right.
No, it's wait, who's right?
Nawson, I think, but this isn't litmus paper like I assumed it was. It's just like a chemical test kit.
Like I
It
don't think
must be for the pool. No, it can't be for the pool. No, he has to. You know what? It's a good point. It's a good point because how will he know it's bleach? Because he would have to buy something specific. So he must have an
Yeah.
inclination. Oh, of course, the smell. Of course, it's basic. Of course. No.
Why are we seeing this then? If he was basing it off the smell, what's this supposed to mean?
So that means he went for a strip to detect specifically bleach.
Right, but didn't you just say? Okay, right, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, but bleach is the base, but people think of it as acid. So in
that's
common,
right.
How did you? Wait, how did you not notice this every morning when making your?
no, but that's the thing. That's the thing is that this he took the video 3 weeks after she was already poisoning his coffee because he was like, my coffee tastes really weird. I'm drinking it from home. I don't understand why every time it tastes like this. And then after, because the wife was like, why isn't he dying? Let me just add some more. Because the wife was like, honey, you're still alive. You're not complaining of stomach pain. And the wife keeps increasing the dosage. That's why it starts to become bubbly because she's
Oh,
like,
that's a good
bleach,
point.
bleach.
Yeah, you're right.
isn't as
Because I was about to say, like, she added a little too much this time.
No, she kept
Yeah.
adding more.
It's like
Kept
boiling
adding
over.
more. And look, because after a while he stopped drinking it. Honey, she was still adding more to the point where she put the whole thing. I was like, girl, are you out of your mind? Are you insane? Clearly she is. She was just like,
well, what she probably didn't realize is she was probably actually building up his tolerance. And to be perfectly honest, I was about to say, like, bleach isn't as lethal as some people think it is. Like, you think if people drink bleach, you die. Trump was telling people to shoot up bleach when
that will die. No, that you will die.
Yeah, because it goes right into your heart. Yeah.
You will die.
What I was about to say is there's the guy, is it Jensen or whatever, that poisoned his wife with antifreeze. He was dumb because he did it over slow doses over extended periods of time. So even though by the time he got caught, his wife had what would be considered a lethal dose of antifreeze in her system, because he had done it slow going over like a really long period of time, she had built up a tolerance that she had lethal doses of antifreeze in her system every day. So there was really like no amount of antifreeze she built up a tolerance to it that he couldn't have killed her if he wanted to with antifreeze.
Like in Family Guy when a woman tries to use pepper spray on Quagmire.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's funny we have like the same frame of references. Built up tolerance. Yeah.
Nobody knows what we're talking about. Come on. You know, Family Guy. You guys know Family Guy? I hope you did. I hope
it's pretty basic. I mean, like he says, he gets maced and he doesn't feel it. I built up immunity. Can you imagine building up an immunity to mace?
But just so you know, like what Beefy is saying, that's correct. There's a natural adaptation if you get exposed to small dosage of, but it's only temporary, honey. Don't think you can just become the bleach superpower, because after a while, no, it's gonna get you. But because you might be wondering, if he's drinking it for 3 weeks, why isn't he drop dead? No, because over time he built up a tolerance, but she kept on adding more, and that there is a lethal dose. There is one where like you just drink it, you're gone. And at this point, she was pouring buckets of bleach, buckets. That girl had.
Probably so much that he was noticing the taste. Like it probably stirred up enough. Like he won't
He was
notice,
no
but it
longer
wasn't
when he
enough to kill him,
videotaped.
yeah.
He was no longer drinking it. He
That's
just
what I'm
did
saying.
it
Like
to collect
to
data.
drink bleach, you're gonna know you're drinking bleach. But
Yeah.
it's referred to the law of diminishing returns. It's the same reason that drug addicts have to constantly get more and more to get the same feeling high, because it's like the body just finds a way to get adapted to chemicals.
Yeah.
It's actually a way to protect you.
It's a way. Yes.
Mhm.
Thanks to your liver. Go ahead. Press play. Listen to this. Watch this. Watch this.
It all started in March 2023 when an unnamed United States Air Force airman was stationed in Germany. At the time, he lived with his wife, Melody Feliciano Johnson, and their
She was
child.
cheating.
The couple is now going through a divorce.
Right.
According to court documents, he, quote,
Her or him?
started noticing that his
Her.
coffee was tasting
Yeah.
bad. He continued to drink the coffee
I'm
for the
guessing
next
that, I don't
2
know.
to 3 weeks and then ended up buying some
Well,
pool chemical
Oh, there we
coffee
go. It's
strips
pool
as the
chemical.
coffee continued to taste very bad to him.
While he
He's
was
lucky. He's alive.
deployed. She was cheating on him while he was deployed, more than likely. And
Yeah,
she wanted to
that's
get
what
rid
I'm
of him.
saying.
Yeah.
No, they moved together because she didn't have a job, so she moved. They moved as a family because they have a kid, and so no, I do think she
Wait,
must
is
have had
that is that a second coffee maker? So I wonder
They-
if like he thought it was the coffee maker and like got another one, and he was like, "Man, it still tastes really bad."
Yeah, probably.
Maybe, yeah.
probably. But look, if you
Good
keep
point.
playing, you'll see because he didn't think it was his wife. He just thought the water was wrong.
Yeah, and honestly, that wouldn't be totally unsurprising. They just
Yeah.
replaced a bunch of underground pipes on my road, but before they did that, you could smell the chemicals
Same.
from my faucets when I turned the water on. It used to smell like bleach.
Was it lead?
City water. I don't know, but I
I
drink
think
everything
usually when they're
filtered now.
replacing pipes like that, it's because of lead in the pipes.
Well, it's corrosion over time. It's what do they call it? It's not tuberculosis. It's when it becomes, I forget the name of it. But yeah, pipes will corrode so bad. I'm in the pipe business, and so I've seen pipes get pulled out where it's like a 6-inch pipe is brought down to like a 2-inch diameter pipe because there's just so much corrosion.
Yeah, that's
But
what
you
he
never
said.
heard of the lead pipes being an issue?
Yes, I've heard of it. Nobody heard what I said. Whatever.
Sorry. No, I didn't.
That's not funny anymore.
Pipes aren't made of lead; they're made of steel. What are you referring to? I mean, I've heard of
No,
They
lead
are-
in the
they
water.
are
because
now.
Now
They
these
use
old
metal.
pipes were made of lead.
They used
They
to.
used to be made of wood.
Wood? In the
Yeah,
ground?
there are some areas in New England where their underground mains are still made out of wood.
Whoa! Look at that, Mother Nature. Nothing beats bark.
Anyway, lead pipes were a thing.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what he said.
In multiple videos, the husband uses chlorine strips to test the water in his coffee maker. Every time, the test strip returns results for high levels of chlorine.
So watch this. Watch this.
This is the control.
Yeah, he's like, okay. This is him trying to see if it's the water. Because he was about to
He's gonna-
complain.
His wife
He's gonna
must have
test it in the
known.
pot, and then after it comes out, right?
Yeah.
His wife must have known that he was testing stuff like this. So at the same time that he's doing this, she's going, "This next one's got to do him in.
Yes.
This next batch has got to be it."
Look, she kept
Yeah.
increasing the
He
dosage.
knows.
He knows, and she kept doing it. So fucking insane. So greedy.
Idiotic criminal.
Okay, yeah. So he pours it in, and then he brews it, and he tests it again, and yeah, it's the coffee maker.
Now watch this. Boom. And listen, it didn't even take like 2 seconds. It doesn't take 2 seconds, but that thing turned purple like that.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane. There's bleach all over that coffee stuff. And he's like, I'm confused. What's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, look how
According
bad
to
it
a
is.
criminal complaint, the man, quote, suspected someone was tampering with his coffee, and in May 2023, while still in Germany, he set up a camera in his house. At that point, video captures Feliciano Johnson pouring something into his coffee pot.
Can you believe that? Look at that. Look at her. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
She's thinking no more wiener schnitzel for me.
Oh my god, there she is pouring the bleach out. I would get so fucking
No
mad.
more wiener schnitzel. You're so funny, Governor.
Good for him for bringing it to police. Oh, she's putting in like a teaspoon, bro.
Right.
You
No,
thought that was gonna kill him? What a dumb
no,
bitch.
hold on. She's pouring 2 teaspoons. And then after it becomes a whole bucket.
That's still not a lot.
No, it's not a lot. Look, it's not a lot, but that's the beginning. She's like, I don't understand
Dude,
why.
when
he
I was a
keeps
kid,
dying.
I played Truth or Dare, and I drank like an entire mouthful of shampoo.
No, that won't kill you.
Yeah, that's a lot less dangerous than the.
Yeah, it's a lot less dangerous. Yeah, that won't kill you.
Even so, I don't think consuming that much bleach is nearly as dangerous as people are making these out to be.
So pretty much what happens is that because then the video plays over and over again, him showing proof of her doing it, and that while they were in Germany, he couldn't bring the charges in Germany only because he wanted to make sure he had the protection of the U.S. government.
Yeah,
So
fair.
he waited until they came back here in the U.S. to go to the
And she was
police
still doing it?
because she was still doing it. And so he had like a trove of videos, but the police said, sorry, we can see her put something, but we can't see if it's definitively bleach or not, even though you have the strips, because we don't know if it's you doing it. Do you take the strips after? We need to see her actually take the bleach.
Kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. So he had to reset the cameras, and he put the cameras in the laundry where the bleach is. That's in the house in the West. And then he set the camera that's facing the laundry door and a camera on top of the coffee maker. Honey, he went full-blown and detective level. Do you know what I'm saying?
Did we see those?
Yes. So if you fast forward, keep going.
Yeah, I'm looking.
No.
It's funny. I was just watching this earlier today. I just
I think
discovered
it's like gotta be like breaking news.
It's around like the end.
During May 2023,
Like this is now.
the husband
Keep going forward more.
Well, no,
I'll
I
tell you
think
what.
this is it right here, right?
Yeah, it's about there.
That model was pulled out.
This woman is gonna do hard time, man.
Yeah, hard time.
Attempted murder? Oh yeah.
No, Biffy is not here. They're still in Germany. Scroll forward
Oh,
more.
okay.
More. No, go back. I wish I had my stuff. Okay, keep going. Go back slowly. You should see her in the laundry room.
I can't imagine.
Right there.
Doing
yeah,
that.
I see it.
There. So after he's like, sorry, you gotta show her proof that she took the bleach. Now look,
And you know,
look
it's funny you say that, Nawson, because we say that in the show all the time. Like, why are these people murder? Like, it seems so far and removed from what a logical, normal thinking person would do, right? Because we're like good people, but these aren't good people. These people don't think like we do. That's why they're murderers.
That's why they're murderers. Yeah. Now look,
Johnson was caught
look how
on
much
camera
bleach she puts.
multiple times, appearing to pour bleach in the laundry room, walking it into the next room, and then pouring it into the coffee maker. Other times, she was
is it
caught
weird
on
to say
camera
she's kind of a
looking
baddie?
over her shoulder as she
No, she's a
seemingly poured
good-looking
the
woman.
chemical
Yeah.
into the machine.
And he's like, most of the video is him testing the water. Oh, sir, we know you're being poisoned. Stop testing that water. It's positive for bleach.
Yeah. You
like-
can stop now. We got it.
Like, you can stop testing the water. We got it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he just, but you know what? He wants to prove a point because he's like, I'm being murdered. But
Water was added.
let me tell you something else. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that. She was like, how come he's not dying? Clearly not enough bleach. How come he's not dying? Clearly not enough bleach. She just keeps pouring. Look at that. Look at that.
I wonder if at some point she was like, honey, on your way home, can you stop and get more bleach? Like, oh, we need more bleach?
It's like, man, we're really going through a lot of bleach
I
lately. Huh?
know. You don't have any more bleach? No, wait. So, so because, so when he actually sent the video out to
Spooky
the
Dome is saying, what is inconceivable?
because
I do not think that word means what you think it means.
inconceivable. Look.
Oh
so,
yeah, she's even referencing. She pulled an accidental Princess Bride moment. Yeah, where it's because he tries to poison both mugs. It's a really good reference, actually. Well done. Yeah, I built up a tolerance to the bleach.
Oh my god, that's really hilarious. You know, look at that. Can you believe he drank for 3 weeks? He was drinking this bleach, not at the same dosage, but look at that. It's so much bleach that it's soapy for like a good minute running down the water. So here's the thing. The thing is that, look, obviously the sad part is that, you know, as his spouse, he has to tell her about the life insurance policy, because that's just what you do. You have to inform your spouse of the life insurance policy that you have on each other, right? And she was just like, yeah, I guess I don't want no more German shitzoles. I want your life insurance. So I'm going to kill you. And they have a kid together too. But the man was super commendable for putting up with it, knowing that she was actively poisoning him and had to sleep in the same bed, pretend like everything is perfect for almost 6 months. Think about that. Think about that. Like, good morning. Good morning. I made dinner. You did? Okay.
I would be worried about like what else she was doing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I made dinner. I'd be like, oh, I already ate.
Yeah, right? Like, can you imagine pretending for 6 months and you know your spouse is trying to actively kill you? And
I wonder if she was poisoning the kid too.
Right? And he had to pretend like he was drinking the coffee, so he had to pour it. It explains in the video. He had to like pretend like he was drinking it, so she doesn't get caught on with. And she was just like, I don't understand this guy. He clearly loves bleach because he's not dying. She kept on pouring this thing. Yeah. Then she was like, more bleach.
She must not have done any research at all, because this is like she's not the first person to try to poison somebody to death, and it's really provable.
Lucky guy. Good patience. Like, he wasn't even mad in the video. He wasn't even screaming. He was polite.
Nawson, you can speak to this because you were in the military. Wouldn't she get some kind of benefits from the military if he was killed while I mean, it wouldn't technically be on duty, but you know, he's active military, so wouldn't she receive some benefits from the military? Because you hear about like
not more than the life insurance.
Okay. Does she get a pension? Like a widow?
She would get his pension,
I've
right?
never. I mean, maybe if he had one. I'm not under the impression that he had one.
Okay.
I've heard about like military wives that think they're just as important as like their, you know, high in powder military spouses. They call them dependas.
Okay.
Back up, you fucking dependa.
There might be some truth to what you're saying, but I don't know. I wasn't married in the military.
Oh. Look at that. I would have died. Because I'd be like, Christopher, my coffee tastes like crap. I'll just go to the store and buy a new one. Chris would be like, no, keep drinking. I'd be like, okay, fine. Because I trust him blindly. Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it?
I'd make like little comments to like just see how she reacted. Like, I'd be like, man, it seems like there's like soap or something in my coffee. Just see her squirm a little bit.
Or like,
oh, how could there be soap in your coffee, honey?
I know, that's weird. Or you go,
you know, says she's probably gonna lie and pretend she was trying to clean it out for him. Also, he's government property. Punishment will be worse. Is that true?
Oh, are you serious, Spooky? Okay.
Punishment will be worse for who?
For her.
Her?
Because he's government property. That's, I don't know if that's true.
Not for her. For him, certainly, because people in the military are like, they are punishable through the UCMJ, or like the Uniform Code of Military Justice. And usually like there's extra charges that they can rack on.
You get like demoted and shit too, right?
Yeah, there's stuff that in the military is illegal that isn't illegal for civilians.
Oh, and
Yeah,
then,
I
look,
remember
Bobak
when
said,
we went down to see you, you got pulled over, and the cop was like, "Why didn't you cut your hair?" I was like, "What the? Oh no, why didn't you shave? Why didn't you shave today?"
Oh, that happened? I didn't remember that.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember that?
yeah. If I like refuse to shave, I could be
court
like
martial.
court-martialed. Yeah, yeah.
You
If I
say,
refuse.
He get pulled over by MPs in the military. Why didn't you shave today, sir?
this is why. See, Governor, you're better man than me. I couldn't be in the military. I've been asking too many questions. Like, shut up. I'm like, no, why? Why? I don't want to shave. I don't feel like doing it today. Or that whole wake up in the morning at 5 in the morning. I'm tired. I'm sore. I ran 5 miles yesterday. What do you mean we're running at 3 in the morning?
Chill out, Sergeant. You're harshing my mellow.
Or that. They wouldn't want me anyway. They'd be like, get out. Okay, bye. Yeah.
So, Alistair, I'm curious of what's going on in your life nowadays. You want to chat?
Did Dave Reed make that one?
No,
Is that his voice?
no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hi, Christine. Hello, Christine. Listen,
Hello.
I love that
What's
part.
going
Let's
on
chat.
in your world nowadays, buddy?
Baby. I'm not
A
even
new
kidding.
baby? I remember you were
No.
saying recently you
No,
were
no, no,
thinking
no, no,
about
no.
getting another
No,
one.
no. No, like everything is about the baby. So I'm gonna bore you. You ready? Okay, we get ready to be bored. So the highlight of the past 2 weeks is Olympia is walking, and
Oh, did she take her first steps?
she took her first steps a few
Did you get it on camera?
days ago. We got it on camera.
So you
And
need to send me that video. I want to see that.
okay, and so she's learning her power of walking, but she's lazy. She's like, I gotta do it myself now. I'm like, yes, girl, come on, walk, because my hands and my back is tired. So
You
she
gotta
do.
go back and watch this one day and like remember this moment in time. Like, oh my god,
I know.
she's grown up now and she was just taking her first steps. So
Taking her
that's
first
pretty
steps.
pretty effing
Yeah.
cool, man.
Like right around like when we pick her up at from because she works at the daycare around 4:30, Olympia has no interest in walking. She's like, you're gonna pick me up, you're gonna take me where I need to go, or else I'm gonna scream. Yeah. Because she's tired. She can't walk that long, but she walks, and that's the big highlight. And not only does she walks, but she shows a lot more. I mean, she's a human, of course, but she shows a lot more cognitiveness of interactions. So she does puzzle.
Is
We
she
do puzzle
is she
together.
speaking? Can she say like
Babbles a lot, but she understands a lot more French words. Like today, I taught her water. Do you want water in French? She a lot more interactive, meaning
So
that
wait, are you talking to her in French?
yeah, I do speak to her in French. Chris speaks to her in English. Absolutely. So
That's gotta be confusing for a baby.
she understands what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Yeah, like come here. She understands
I'm
that.
sure the baby books would say try to focus on one language because it's probably hard enough for her to learn.
I've
No,
heard that young children actually something about the way their brains are developing. They learn language very quickly,
Yeah.
which is
'Cause
why
they're so
why
makes
there's a
sense.
lot of bilingual, really young kids. They're like, their parents are Mexican, but they speak really fluent English and Spanish.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, because she understands me. She understands what I'm saying, and she understands what Chris says. And Christine, I see you comment. And yeah, lock everything up because she understands the power of her feet and she wants to now explore.
Opening stuff and sticking forks
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
outlets and
Explore. She's like, "What is
drinking
that?
bleach.
I've never been here. The bathroom? Is that the bathroom WC? Oh, there's water in there. Like I had to be like, no, don't put your hand in there.
So have you given up on the possibility of going to the surrogate for a baby from your sperm?
We said in 2 to 4 years because right now it's funny. It's our hands are very full, but just making sure she doesn't fall off the cliff. Sort of, kind of, because she's very mobile now. So our hands are very full. We don't have sleep problems, and so it's just. I think the good year gap will be 2 or 4 years old. That's when we can maybe start thinking about having a second one. But my best friend had a new baby. I went to see her last weekend. And that's why there's no jacket. I forgot the jacket there. I went to see her last weekend, and she has a new baby, and I have forgotten how much they sleep all day. And I was like, wow, I've forgotten how much they sleep all day. And so when you sleep deprived, you don't realize how much they sleep. But at the beginning, I was like, wow, that kind of feels nice, because now Olympia doesn't really sleep. She naps for like an hour and a half. And then she's like, what are we doing next? 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 Like,
That's cute though. Are you guys gonna? So she's what? She's 1, right? She just turned 1.
no, she's 1 year and juin, juillet, août, septembre.
Yeah, so she's 1. She's going on 2.
15. She's 15 months.
She's 1. So yeah. Anyways, is she
I know,
gonna?
that's what I say too. I'm like, okay, she's 1.
Yeah.
No, but she's 15 months. She's 15 months. So that's really all she's been doing, just working.
Are you guys going to take her out trick-or-treating?
So for trick-or-treating, we're going to spend it with my sister-in-law this weekend. So the short answer is yes, but it's not going to be like a full night in a town. It's just going to be, because my sister-in-law lives in a community, so it's going to be within the community, not too many stuff like that. And then for this,
Can't even eat candy, right? She's probably still eating formula, or
no,
is she on food?
she's off formula. She eats real food. Today she had a full meal. She had what we ate. She had salmon, rice, and vegetables. Now, when I tell you the amount, you're going to gag. She had half of a salmon, like literally a piece this big. She had this.
Oh my god!
Oh please, a rice like this much rice and this much vegetables. I was like, girl, they don't feed you over there at daycare? No, I'm playing, but I said that. I was like, wow, she's eating, but she's growing. Yeah, she ate.
Well, they probably give her snacks. They don't like giving her like a full
No,
lunch.
they
Do you have
feed
to
her.
send her with a lunch?
No, they feed her. They feed her. I'm just the one. I'm like, I can't believe this small body is eating so much. She pretty much eats as much.
You must go to a ritzy daycare. They're giving her a full lunch every day.
No, they give her food. Yeah, they feed them breakfast, lunch.
Wow.
And they don't feed them anytime after 4. After 5 p.m. you have to feed them. So, but we pick her up at 4:30 p.m. Sharp. I know, and because all the parents look, when I go pick her up, I'm the one who picks her up. So my days is literally from 7 a.m. Oh, she wakes us up at 6, from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Anything after that, like I have to be home by 4. I have to get ready to pick her up by 4:30, come home, and then we prepare a little snack. We do play, we do park, and then and then I ship her off to Chris. I'm like, okay, you deal with the bedtime. No, our days are full. Please, it's all baby. But
Nice.
it's so great. It's so great. You know why it's great? Because she's super interactive now. It's amazing. She's a lot of work, but it really is. Like when we play puzzle, she first of all, she gets it right. She's a smart girl. This girl, oh my god, she gets it right. And then when she gets it wrong, she looks at me and she goes,
She throws her hands up like
yeah.
victory.
And then I have to be like, no,
you guys decorating the house for spooky season?
no,
Watching horror movies?
No. So we're not, because we're not spending the spooky season at the house. We're going to spend it a lot out. My in-laws, many of my in-laws, this
Go to
weekend.
a pumpkin patch? You're gonna carve a pumpkin?
No, we're not, because we're going to spend that time at. We're not doing it here. We're going to spend that time with my in-laws. So they do the pumpkin carving, but I have a baby, so I'll go out participate with a drink and watch the kids get their hands dirty. Come on, I'm a grown up. I don't want to get dirty, please. Like, oh, great.
I like how you keep the binoculars like just for hands reach for your pop comedy bits. Very well appreciated.
No, because I want to showcase that I observe. You
need to get like a magic wand and like a stick for when you get angry at somebody. You can just like pretend to bonk them on the head. Things you can throw at the camera. We need to get you a whole like carrot top prop box for your. Because you're the only one on camera and everyone's watching.
This weekend, we're going to my sister's. She has a yearly get together where we talk about. She invites all of her friends and people with conversation, and we it starts Saturday afternoon, and we talk in front of the fire all night with drinks.
And fall fires are so nice. You guys gonna make some s'mores?
Conversation. And she's having it catered, but it's gonna be a big party, and she has a big bowl of topics. Like
you said it's a yearly celebration.
Yeah,
it's just a yearly party or in celebration or something, or
no? It's just one of the tradition my sister has to have all of her siblings together, and to also, it's like a networking thing within the friend group. You know, if that makes any sense. Her friend group, really, mainly, but because I'm
Okay,
the
Bubba
invitee.
says, making funny decorations would be awesome, like Dracula rising out of the coffee, or like a Spanish woman pouring bleach into the coffee pot. That would be a good spooky decoration, right?
Look, the Dioreos, they all up that decoration stuff. Us, the Nzikios, we are, because we're African immigrants, so Halloween was not a thing. It's not even a thing over there in Europe, really. So it's an American thing, really. So the Dioreos, they decorate everywhere, everything. That's why I'm like, thank God you're doing it,
Yeah,
because then you have to clean
it's just me, but I get costumes for the dogs every year, and I put stuff up around the house.
No,
and
I have a costume.
It kind of made more sense when I had the girlfriend here, and now it's not just me. I do kind of find myself like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? Like, I'm the only one seeing it, but whatever.
No, put the costume on and go for a walk with your dog. The only thing is,
Yeah, I do.
Okay, perfect.
Actually, it's weird. Every year in Worcester, the city I live in, I always get like a big bowl of candy, and I'll get costumes for the dogs, and I'll sit out on my stoop on Halloween for trick or treat. And I've lived in my apartment for 4 years. I've never gotten one trick or treater, but every Halloween I sit at my stoop for 2 hours with the bowl of candy, just waiting for somebody to come up, and nobody ever fucking does.
Perfect. No, Halloween, I think Halloween is scary to me because it's the only time where you can walk around with a real knife and real blood, and people will be like, "Oh, look how cool!" Yes. What's your costume? Serial killer. Oh, amazing!
If you guys could pick like pretend you're in like grade school or whatever, and you get to be dress up for whatever you want. Who are you guys going to dress up for? If you could dress up for Halloween, who would you go as? Right now, as an adult.
Governor, go.
He-Man.
That's pretty cool. Would you go shirtless with the suspenders and the whole thing? And a snarf?
Oh, suspender and a shirt.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, Governor.
A real tiger.
Excited there.
Do you remember that year that I wore the big teddy bear suit, like the sports team mascot outfit, and rode the mechanical bull at that bar?
Yeah.
That was fun.
I do remember that.
Alistair, what about you?
So I do enjoy dressing up for Halloween. So I have a few costumes here lined up. I have the
Spooky Gnome says that she would dress up as a witch.
A witch!
You wouldn't dress up as a gnome? How about like a gnome witch hybrid? Like the witch hat with the gnome beard?
That would be hard to get.
Christine says Queen Elizabeth. That bitch hat. I think she's
everything.
saying that bitch had everything, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What would you dress up as, Alistair?
All right, so I'll tell you the costumes I have. So I have the
No, nothing you've done before. New year, new costume.
Oh, new costume. No, I already bought the new one. So the new one is the gnome from the that cartoon where you have those little yellow guys who
Minions.
Minions. That's right.
You're gonna be a minion.
Yeah, one of those minions. Right, the one with the glasses.
We need photos for. Yeah. Okay, so that's perfect because this in the next week or so, I'm going to be working on some custom art for you guys, and we're going to be selling Halloween stickers for y'all that are going to be Halloween themed, and I'm going to dress you up in a minion. Oh no, you were supposed to wear the squirrel outfit. Whatever, I'll put myself in the squirrel outfit.
Ooh.
And you can be dressed up as the minion. So yeah, keep an eye out for that next show. We'll have a link for you. You can buy the Boîte Noire Radio Halloween sticker. That'll be out next week.
Beefy, how dare you?
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
I can read your mind. Can you read mine? Shut up, Governor. Perfect.
John Bob said, "Oh, Halloween is awesome. Best horror movies on TV." Yeah, every year I do like a Universal horror movies marathon where I watch like Frankenstein and Dracula, the classics. It's always fun. I watch them while I work. It's cool.
Hey, quick question for you, Alistair.
Yeah, bring it on, Governor.
Beefy couldn't answer this, and I'm just curious. I'm trying to just get information about this, right?
I'm ready, Governor.
Why is it that rotisserie chickens at the grocery store are cheaper than raw chickens?
Oh, it's because they're not it's has to do with what they are fed. It has to do with the entire process line. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that.
Is
Oh.
that are you
So a
serious?
rotisserie
Is
chicken
that your
is
final
lower
answer?
quality.
Oh, wait, this is a real question? All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Let me process my brain a little bit. Okay, wait. So why is it cheaper, you said?
Yeah. It's not trivia. I'm just
That
honestly
like
curious.
it's very odd, yeah, because it is true. You can buy a cooked, seasoned rotisserie chicken at the grocery store, and it will cost you less than a whole raw
Yeah.
chicken.
Yeah, I know why. No,
I think it has to do with the preservatives.
no, the thing that makes the most sense is probably because these kind of chicken are not as well catered to in terms of the feed, the antibiotics, in terms of
Yeah, so it's a
XYZ
lower
compared to the
quality
chicken.
chicken.
Right, it's a lower quality chicken. Or it's a chicken that died, and they're like, okay, it's healthy enough, rotisserie.
But today when I was shopping, I noticed that the rotisserie chickens are $5, but I got a store brand chicken, like it's not organic. It
Yeah.
didn't have any of those claims on the label that it was like,
Yeah, and believe
corn-fed
me,
or anything.
the people that sell chickens, they go to great lengths to. I mean, some do, some don't. But to like have like a range-free chicken, for example, they have to put things in place, like a certain amount of square footage has to be outside for them to roam to put that claim on the label of range-free. It's less than you think, but it is still a cost burden. So
But there were no claims on the label. It was just a regular raw chicken for $10.
right, that's exactly what I'm
Rotisserie-
saying.
The
Is
rotisserie
if
chicken
they
was
could
$5.
claim that it was free range, they're going to put it on there. Is what I'm saying. So I'm explaining. That's all. I think it has to do with the fact that it's because it's shelf stable. Like they know that when they get the rotisserie chickens, they're going to cook them that day. But with a fresh chicken that's on the shelf, it needs to sit there for like probably a few days to a week. Yeah, so Lucy's saying the same thing. The rotisserie chickens are probably almost by the sell-by date, so they need to cook them or lose money. Oh, okay, so they're taking the chickens that are about to go bad. That even makes even more sense, and then
that makes the most sense actually. That makes the most sense, Lucy. The chicken already processed that were not able to be sold gets cooked, extends the shelf life, and you sell it for cheaper, so someone buys it now.
Well, no, yeah, they cook the rotisserie chicken, they put it in the heater, and at the end of the night, if it isn't sold, they throw it away. It's just like the discount bakery products when they're at the end of the shelf life. They put them on the rack where it's like reduced price cookies, and if they sell, great. If not, they toss them.
Yeah, look, Baba said the same thing. Yeah.
It's still interesting though that you can get a chicken already cooked for cheaper.
Yes, Bubba, cooked and ready to eat. Yeah, it is, because you think that the labor and the money and all that, but those people are pretty much there anyway. The people that work the rotisserie also work the deli, so it does make sense.
But also, go ahead. Sorry.
They probably just tell the deli people, "Hey, go to the shelf, grab all the chickens that are going to go bad today, and throw them in the rotisserie and put them out."
Yeah, cook them and
you know what I mean? It takes like an hour. They just have to invest in a rotisserie cooker.
Oh my God, Lucy, you go, girl. Another thing Lucy said that makes the most sense. Whatever they don't sell.
What they don't sell, they make chicken soup. Wow, we're solving the mystery here.
Like, they're not losing money, honey. No.
Just like the seafood that they don't sell in the seafood rack, they use to make seafood salad. That's true.
Look at that. Oh, Lucy.
I don't think that could be true because seafood salad is just that's just imitation crab meat and mayonnaise.
Well, they do others like the seafood stuffing and all that. They use that. I asked them how they make it if it just comes in bulk, and they say that the stuff that doesn't sell, they use that in the seafood stuffing and the seafood salad shit.
Mm-hmm.
But there's seafood stuffing and seafood salad are two different things.
Okay, thank you. I'm just making the point that grocery stores do this. They take the product that's about to go bad, they turn it into something else, and they sell it to you.
But you're telling me because the seafood stuffing, they'll put it into raw fish for you to cook the fish with the stuffing in it. So you're telling me
they eat the stuffing raw.
Oh, ew.
It's
they take the old seafood that didn't sell. They cook it all and make it into seafood stuffing, and then put it into the raw fish.
Yes.
And then sell it?
Seafood stuffing is cooked. You can eat that raw. They sell it by the tub.
Oh. By the tub. Well, I'm allergic to
spooky gnome.
Yeah.
Can anyone explain if cobblers are shoemakers? What the fuck is Peach Cobbler called that for? You're the gnome. You tell us, Mr. Cobbler. Well, then again, I guess cobblers and gnomes are different things. But then again, most gnomes typically are shoemakers, unless we're talking about like the Keebler elves. But those are elves; they're not gnomes.
Good point there.
They were cookie makers, not. Anyways. All right. Well, let us know in the comments what you're going to be for Halloween. We would like to hear from you, replay crew, especially you guys. Drop us a line in the comments. What are you going to dress up for Halloween? And before we go home here, Alistair, I'm going to turn to you. Do you have a final thought for us as I prep up this really quick, just delaying for time so I can play this?
The final thought.
The final thought. Hey, Governor, don't you like that British accent?
What British accent? Oh, in the clip.
Yeah. The final thought.
It's okay, I guess.
Of course you would say that, Governor.
That one was me.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah, we've talked about this.
The final thought? That's your voice?
Yeah, it's like reverbed up to make me sound like an old man.
Bitch, I didn't know. Wow, that's good. Wow, Beefy. So talented. It's so annoying, but I love it.
John Bob is savvy, and they do the same thing in Wendy's. Yeah, I worked at Burger King. They take the old burgers that don't sell, and they grind them up and put them in the chili. Yep, it's true.
I can't believe it's you.
It's been me all along. It was me.
Okay, last thing, and then I go to final thought. The one disappointment that I wish it was you was let's chat. Oh, I wish that was you, Beefy.
Yeah, that one's not me. Yes.
You're fired. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, final thought. So look, we just talked about a crazy, grisly mass murder. And I went in there and I said, well, look at that. Nobody should be hanging out in the middle of nowhere. No, don't listen to me, of course. The most important thing is that, as I always say, you need to try your best not to be a murderer. Now, how's that for a final thought? No, because listen, before you start laughing and throwing tomatoes at me, listen, one second. Listen to me.
I'm throwing tomatoes. You can't see it. I'm gonna put them in the comments. That was weak sauce. You got a long distance back to get me over on this one, because we are reaching here, my friend.
Pay attention.
Hear me out. Hold on.
No, wait, listen. Because what is the step process of a murderer? Disappointment, anger, and then right? So to not be disappointed, just go in there with little expectation and don't expect too much, because people are allowed to be people, and so people are allowed to be annoying and offensive sometimes, right? So just make sure, just make sure that you keep an open mind. Oh my God, so many tomatoes. Dodge. Governor, you're supposed to protect me. You know, you're not doing a good job there, Governor. I think I'm gonna have to do a recall.
Hey, I think I got a final thought.
There we go. Yeah, pretend we didn't hear the one from Alistair. That was just a warm up. We were joking around. That wasn't real. Nawson's got it from here.
How dare you?
So here's the final thought. If you discover that your wife may be sleeping with her father, it's time to find another farm.
Wait, how about the coffee?
If you think that it's time to end things with your husband, just talk it out. Don't go bleach in the coffee pot like scorched earth. Okay, make the coffee and have a conversation with your husband. and furthermore, if you murder the milkman, do not go back to said milkman's house and kill and rape his wife. It's just too much.
Oh my God. I'm telling you,
And
man.
furthermore, if you buy a chicken at the grocery store and it goes back. Okay, sorry.
No,
Just know
that actually is a good one. Next time you go to the grocery store, just get a rotisserie.
Yeah.
But you have to
Honestly,
eat it
can
right
do a
away,
lot more.
though.
You can freeze the cooked meat and shit. You can do a lot with cooked chicken meat.
You're right.
That is true. I mean, like I bought the chicken to make soup, and like you can't really you can make soup with a rotisserie chicken, but it's not the same.
Oh my god. Yes, just listening to you guys cook and stuff. I haven't cooked in almost a year. It's kind of nice.
Nawson, Alistair, you guys are the rotisserie chicken in the soup of my life.
Oh, thank you. I'm the dark meat governor.
And with that note, this soup in the crock pot's getting a little cold here. we're past our sell-by date. We're turning into spoiled chickens, getting ready, putting the rotisserie here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. This has been an awesome show. Nawson, thank you so much for popping up. Look at all the tomatoes. Holy crap! People are killing us here. We are getting slaughtered in the comments. Time to wrap it up.
Yeah, but thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah.
It's fun talking to you guys.
Back on again. This was a lot of fun. We haven't had this much energy in the video in a while.
Oh, Governor, so nice to see you.
Yeah,
Take
nice
us
to
home,
meet you.
Alistair.
Right, okay, everybody. Well, thank you for watching. Press like, subscribe, and the replay crew. You're the bitch. You're the ish. Oh my god, we've made so many mistakes already, so I'm gonna curse. Everybody fucking watching, thank you so fucking much. And fucking press like, fucking press subscribe.
And have a great fucking week.
Yeah, have a great fucking week.
And
fucking love you. Fucking goodbye.
End transmission.